In May 2016, a Chinese family's world was shattered when their baby boy was kidnapped from their home. Despite a relentless search, the 6-year-old seemed to have vanished without a trace. Then, 9 months later, an extraordinary twist changed everything. While visiting a local shopping mall, the father froze in disbelief. There, among the bustling crowd, was his missing son. But there was a catch. The boy wasn't alone. On May 27, 2016, Chen Zhonghong lived with his wife and 2 kids in the village of Matang in the southeastern province of Guangdong, China. That day, he reportedly went to work as usual, but with his wife elsewhere, he was forced to leave his children alone at home. Chen therefore left his daughter in charge of her younger brother, Jaifu. Little did the dad know that would be the last time he saw his elementary school-aged son. Approaching a year later, Chen later told police that he had left his children watching TV in the family home. But according to reports, little Jaifu had been abducted from the residence just 2 hours later. A neighbor is said to have called by the house, at which point the daughter explained that a stranger had visited and taken her sibling. It seemed that the father returned from work and discovered the devastating news that Jaifu had been snatched. The family then called the police and reported the abduction, which led to a major missing person search to try to locate the boy. Understandably, Chen appeared totally distraught about his son's disappearance. He and the rest of the family had, after all, just been plunged into a nightmare world of not knowing who took Jaifu, where he could be, or why anyone would do such a wicked thing. Chen undoubtedly just hoped that somewhere out there his little boy was still alive. The Chinese police reportedly worked hard to track down the child and the people who kidnapped him. According to Chinese press reports, the authorities received hundreds of tips from the public concerning the missing boy. The police were also informed about many potential sightings. Sadly, however, it turned out that none of these witnesses had seen the real Jaifu. So despite all of the exhaustive efforts of those involved, the police did not find Jaifu, and with no promising leads, the trail had gone cold. It wouldn't be surprising if at this point the family began to worry that he would never be found. Then, 3/4 of a year later, a chance encounter led Chen to his son. By February 21, 2017, Jaifu had been missing for almost 9 months. But that was the day that the bereft Chen chose to visit a shopping center in the nearest big city to their village. The mall in King Sin was located just half an hour away by road from the family home in Matang. While walking through King Sin Town Plaza, Chen was stopped in his tracks. He saw something that he just could not believe. Not an amazing bargain or a spectacular window display, but something much more valuable and precious, his Jaifu. However, Chen's son was in the company of 3 adult strangers. What could the poor man do now? In fact, as soon as Chen recognized his son, he seemingly knew that there was only one thing he could do. Perhaps believing that if he had to wait for the authorities to arrive, the gang would have fled with his son, Chen hung back and waited until the 2 men and 1 woman guarding the boy were distracted. Then he managed to seize Jaifu and swept him up out of harm's way. Chen next made an emergency call to the police to tell them that he had bumped into his son, snatched him back, and that he had seen the criminals responsible. Fortunately, the authorities arrived at King Sin Town Plaza quickly. Indeed, officers were able to successfully apprehend the trio before they had a chance to flee the mall. Chilling security camera footage of part of the events has been released to the public. One sequence shows a man holding Jaifu's hand and striding with him through the mall. The video also reveals the moment that officers swooped in to capture the criminals. In this clip, 2 plainclothes officers outside the shopping center run up to and pull a suspect off a motorcycle before he could make his escape. After saving him from the abductors, a no doubt jubilant Chen was later able to take Jaifu home. Although the little boy had been away for many months and was allegedly in danger of being sold, he fortunately suffered no abuse at the hands of his abductors. Needless to say, his family was thrilled to have him return safely home. Meanwhile, the perpetrators were taken into custody and charged with their crimes, including suspected human trafficking. The members of the gang were identified to the media only by their family names. The ringleader was called Wu, and his accomplices were a female named Li and another male by the name of Chen, no relation. The trio was arraigned to appear in court later in 2017, so it was that Wu and Chen were brought before the bench at the Queen Sin People's Court on November 10, 2017. Judge Hu Sao-yang officiated over the trial. Summing up, he said Hu had planned to sell Jai Fu to another family. The judge also stated that Wu had planned to sell other kidnapping victims to people who did not have children of their own. Indeed, the court heard that Wu was the one who took Jai Fu from his Matang home that day in May 2016. The lead perpetrator had lured the child away with the promise of buying him candy. According to the court, there were other claims that Jai Fu had been specifically targeted by the gang because of a grievance held against the boy's mother. At the conclusion of the trial, Judge Hu pronounced the 3 defendants guilty. Hu was sentenced to 6 years in prison and ordered to pay a fine of 10,000 yuan, approximately $1,583, for kidnapping and human trafficking. Meanwhile, Li was handed 3 years of jail time, and Chen received 2 years, both for child abduction. The 11-year prison sentence and modest fine handed down may seem inadequate for such heinous acts, but it aligns with standard criminal procedures in China. According to Chinese law, individuals convicted of abducting and trafficking women or children typically face 5 to 10 years in prison, along with fines. Those caught purchasing abducted individuals can receive a maximum sentence of 3 years. However, harsher penalties are imposed for more severe cases, especially when additional crimes like sexual assault or narcotics involvement are present. For kidnappings involving hostages or blackmail, offenders can face sentences ranging from 10 years to life imprisonment. If the crime results in the victim's death, the perpetrator faces the death penalty. Although Jai Fu's ordeal ended in a miraculous mall rescue, his story is a rare instance of hope in a grim reality. In 2017, the U.S. State Department ranked China as a Tier 3 country for human trafficking, placing it among the worst offenders in permitting such atrocities. Tragically, there are an estimated 20 million victims of human trafficking worldwide today. What do you think of Jai Fu's story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.